the deal. It's fall. I'm missing my mom like crazy, you guys. Last year around this time, she passed away very suddenly. And I'm feeling really sad and anxious and depressed and all these feelings. And one of the things that makes me feel good when I'm feeling this way is to cook. I love to cook. Here, let's get this closer, shall we? Okay, so ingredient time. So I am going to be roasting this nice, almost 4-pound natural whole chicken, raised cage-free, vegetarian, fed with no preservatives. And it's the whole chicken, okay? So we want the whole kit and caboodle. And then I'm going to put some apple, a little bit of orange, and a couple of hunks of onion in the cavity, and then also around it in the roasting pan. And then for the soup, oh, and then also I'm gonna rub it with some spices. Let's see, some sage, some thyme, and some rosemary. And I'll also put olive oil on it. And then for the soup, I'm going to have a little bit of chicken flavor bouillon just to get things started in the roasting pan, where I'm gonna use my vegetables. I'll cook all of them together, and then I get a stock pot going with hot water, and I put the carcass of the chicken. Once the chicken is roasted, you rip off all the meat, and then you put the carcass into the water and get all the flavor out of it. That makes a really great chicken stock, by the way. You can't see my face, but you can see my mouth. And then I will rip shreds of the meat and put them back into the stock once you take the carcass out. Put the sauteed veggies in. It's fabulous. The brown sugar is here because I need to put it back in my brown sugar bin. And then these are my snacks, because when I'm cooking, I get really hungry. Like, I love cooking so much that I just start craving the savoriness of it all. So I love to keep dried plums, which are dun dun dun, prunes. They're so good though, I love them. And then almonds. These are just plain whole almonds, and that really keeps me happy, so I don't eat everything in the room while I'm cooking. Now here's the fun part. You see this sucker? Hold on, let's back this up. Okay. Back it up, yo-yo. Okay, so usually when you roast a chicken, you either put it in like a roasting pan, or they have this thing that's like metal and it sticks up like this, and you put it up the chicken's, you know what, little hoo-hoo, and the chicken sort of stands there in the oven and cooks. Well, I didn't have one, and I thought, wait a minute, why not use this bundt cake pan? Now there's a hole in the middle because there has to be room for that air to go through and aerate through le chicken for proper cooking. But then, of course, if any juice drips down, I'll put it on this pan, so then it's safe. Do I sound like a pro chef or what? Yay! This is my Joy of Cooking cookbook. I live by this book. I love it. A how-to manual, and it's fabulous, and my mom used it, and I'm sure my grandmother did. So, let's do some cooking, shall we? First things first, wash your hands, y'all. Now, chicken time. Chicken time, chicken. I also love roasting turkey for Thanksgiving. I do the whole Thanksgiving 9 yards, 12 yards, 10 yards. Stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, green bean casserole, sweet potato casserole. Did I say stuffing? And the turkey, and of course cranberry sauce, all homemade from scratch. Love it, love it, love it. So make sure nothing goes down your incinerator or your garbage disposal, because then that'll screw it up. Here's Mr. Chicken. Hi, Chicken. Okay, trash. I need to set my oven quick. Okay, oven. We preheat the oven. Bake. Put it to 450. We now have it at 450, and we say start. But I should have done this first. We want to, oh good, it's already ready to go. This is in the center of the oven. I've got another rack underneath for catching the drippings. Ta-da! Okay, you sit there. Be a good little camera. Okay, so, we gotta reach inside the cavity. Here's his butt. Is there anything in here? Yes, there is. The goodies. This is giblets and heart and sometimes the neck. Now they put a little package, that's nice, so if you even want to deal with it, you can just toss it out. Okay, now we need to rinse our hands off again, because chicken is just Apparently not safe when it's not cooked. I'm gonna bring my roasting pan over here. I should have like 5,000 cameras going at once. Okay, there's the chicken. Here's my olive oil. I shop pretty much exclusively at Ralph's. Occasionally I'll also go Trader Joe's, and then for the really foo-foo stuff, maybe Gelson's or Whole Foods. But as a member of Ralph's, I get all kinds of great deals, so I love it. I save so much money. Plus, Ralph's actually has a program that works with the local ballet company and studio that I work with. So every time I shop at Ralph's, they get a contribution, and I love that. As you can see here, I am covering my birdie in olive oil, giving him a nice little olive oil massage. There you go, birdie baby. I want to get it on both sides. I'm going to have to wipe off this olive oil bottle later. Ah. There you go, little guy. Little fella. Now, you can truss them up if you want. And trussing, you know, you would take these little Scooty-Boo legs and tie them together and all that. I'm not worried about it. This ain't for presentational purposes, so I'm okay. Now I'm going to take Mr. Birdie, and here's his little rump, right? So there's the hole where all the magic used to happen. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to go put it over the hole of my bundt cake pan. And there he is. Whoop, put your little legs in front. And he's sitting up, like he's going to sit in the little bathtub. Look at that. Ta-da! Can you see? Yay! So now let's wash our hands one more time. Soap. Ah, hot. Hot? Hot! I know they said you can sprinkle rosemary and thyme and sage and all that on Mr. Bird, or you can put it around it. Now here's what I do. This is what I love. Mr. Birdie is in his little bath. We have our apple and onion and orange. I'm going to cut it up in pieces, and I'm going to put it, if you can still see the bundt pan, I'm going to put these around, and I'll also put a couple of pieces in the bird to keep him juicy. Juicy birdie. Get in there. Get in his belly. Yeah. You want to keep Mr. Birdie nice and juicy. And some apple. All of this, oh, there's a name for this. I know there's a name for these things. It's not fragrance. I don't know. There's something about when you put fruits and onions around the meat, it somehow helps it. Yeah, I know. Sounds really smart. Let's take just a portion of the onion. Let's chop this bad boy in half. And then trash. Let's do a quarter of the onion in here. Okay, so I like to cut the sides. Now onion for me, my eyes start watering almost immediately, so I have to go really fast with onion because it's evil. Like that, and then like that. And I'll just sprinkle these onion pieces around it. Now let's spice up our bird a bit. I'm going to take some salt, a little bit, and pat my birdie with some nice salt. Boop, boop, boop. Not too much, just a little bit. Yeah. I love chickens. That's what's so crazy, man. I love chickens and petting them and holding them, and then I also happen to love to eat them. Oh God, the onion's getting to me. Ah, the onion is getting to me. And a little bit of rosemary on my bird, just a little bit. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Beep, beep, beep. A little bit of rub sage. And a little bit of thyme. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. No parsley. Not this time. I don't have any parsley here, so it's not happening. Rub his little butt. There we go. Good boy. All set, huh? You all set, huh, boy? Jojo thinks I'm talking to him. Okay. So, rinse off the hands again. Otra vez. Otra vez. Otra vez. I like to keep a hand towel over my shoulder. My mom did this too. She just kept it right here all the time when she cooked. So we are waiting for that oven to preheat. So while we're waiting for the oven to preheat, he came from somewhere back in long ago. A sentimental fool, don't see trying hard to reach So let's get our stock pot out. Ready to go. And we have that one ready for the vegetables. Oh, and I'm also going to need potatoes. Potatoes. Oh, good. The oven is ready. Yay! Okay, you sit there, stock pot. Things are getting messy. I know. But it's fun. So the pan's down there, and then the chicken goes on top. Ta-da! Like that. Place the chicken in the oven, reduce the heat to 350 degrees, and roast about 20 minutes per pound, basting periodically. Transfer to a platter and let stand 10 to 15 minutes before carving, and the chicken is done when the thigh registers 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So we need to lower this to 350 now. Now kitchen timer, 20 minutes, no, not 30. 20 minutes, okay. Cooking and self-taping is not easy. I'm gonna chop up 3 potatoes here. They're just your regular russety potatoes. And then the trick to making it easier for potatoes to cook is when you're putting them in a stew or you want to, I don't know, saute them for breakfast or anything, do a pre-cook in water. You just want to put them in cold water. You start the water cold, put the potato chunks in, then you bring the water to boiling, then you add the salt. Don't ever add salt to cold water because the salt will stick to the bottom. It's not good. And then you only let them boil for like, I don't know, 10-15 minutes so that they are almost cooked through. And then you pull them out, and then you can put them in the soup and they'll cook the rest of the way. They won't turn to total mush, but they'll be a little bit starchy, which is good. That sort of mixes in with the chicken stew deliciousness. So I love that. And I am leaving these skins on my potatoes because I love potato skins. Let's do a quick rinse on the potatoes. Here we go. So just give the potatoes a nice wash before we start cutting them up. There we go. They've got some eyes on them. I don't like that. Get off there. All right. Slice potatoes. This particular soup, which is more like a stew, this is so my mom, it's not even funny. She made chicken soup all the time. Or she'd make turkey soup every Thanksgiving after we, of course, had the roast turkey. You have all that turkey left over. Some of it is for sandwiches, but then she would make this turkey stew, and it was just to die for. So I'm doing it with chicken. But she always likes to finish it off with a dollop of sour cream, and I'm telling you, it's like comfort food. You know how that is with your mom or dad's food or whoever it is in your family, maybe your grandmother? It's just comfort food. There's something so satisfying about it. I'm just taking these chunks, I'm tossing them into the pot of cold water right here. Oh, let's get this junk out of the way. There we go. Just like that, right? So they're going into the water. I'm taking the pot of potatoes over to the stove. I've got it on high, so that's over there. Now back to here. Let's get veggies ready for this pot. This is for the other part of the stew. So I want to put olive oil and butter in here first. Let's quick rinse off the, are we watching? There we go. Let's rinse off the celery. I'm going to take maybe 5 sprigs. 5 sprigs of celery. So I have my carrots and celery ready to go. Okay, so it's beeping, which means kitchen timer off. So we're going to open this up and carefully with a pot holder, thank you very very much. Pull out the chicken. Let's see if there's anything to, nope, there's nothing right now to really baste him with. So I'm going to just pour in some water, because I think that will help him. So I'm going to pour some water down in here, which I probably should have done in the beginning and I didn't. Bad me. But, c'est la vie. There's some water. And that water will take on the flavor of the chicken nicely. Let's give him a little bit more. So he has lots of moisture. But the nice thing is, since I started out without the water, the skin will be a little crispier, I think. So let's give him a little baste here. Just a bitty bit baste, bitty baste, bitty baste. And now we're going to pop them in for another 20 minutes. And here we go. And close that up. Okay, so I've got this now here. I'm going to put the heat on medium to low, actually, to get it started. Not too high, because you don't want the vegetables to burn. And I like to do a mixture of a little bit of butter and a lot of bit of olive oil. So I'll take just a little dollop of butter. Not much, well, a little more maybe, because we are doing more veggies. Okay, so there we go. And then get my olive oil going. Oh, that's what I need, onion. Oh, almost forgot. I gotta chop up the onion, and I gotta chop it fast because, as I told you guys before, my eyes like to burn. So let's grab that quick onion. I'm gonna chop up some onion really quick, as fast as I can, so it does not burn my eyes to death. Got my onions. It's just a yellow onion, quarter of an onion, in the butter and olive oil. Spread them out, make sure they're kind of coated in it. There we go. Things like onion and carrots and celery, these are really good things for dancers. They're not very palatable raw necessarily. And I do, of course, love to make hummus because it makes everything taste better. But boy, when you cook them up into a stew, oh, they taste fabulous. So it's going to take a little while for these onions to cook. You want them to cook down until they're almost clear, or translucent, as they like to call it. And then we'll add the other veggies and bring up the heat just a touch. So you can see here are all the cooking. I'm going to add in my carrots and celery. And cook them up with the onions. Let those cook down a bit. There you go. Get them all coated in the olive oil butter mixture. Again, notice that no salt's been added here yet. I'll add a little salt to the potato water. And of course I added a little salt to the bird, but not a lot. A lot of the flavor comes from the length of time you cook it, I've noticed. So I'm sure there's some fancy reason for that. But there we go. I'm going to stir these potatoes a bit. The water's getting close to boiling, so that's exciting. The potatoes will be done soon thereafter. I don't know if you can tell, but the potatoes are already starting to cook through nicely. I've kept the heat pretty low. I'm going to take it up just a notch now. I think it's safe to go there. Sometimes you can cover them and that'll cook them a little faster too. Okay, the water over here for the potatoes is now boiling, so it's safe to add just a little bit of salt to flavor the water. The salt will infuse a little bit in the potatoes. Not much. There we go. Just shake and mix that in. And then not too much longer on these potatoes, because we don't want them to turn into mashed potatoes. We're not trying to mash potatoes today. We're just trying to get them cooked well enough for our chicken soup stew. I should call it Susie's chicken soup stew, because my mom's name is Susie, or Suzanne. Of course, I call her mom a lot. Or Susie. I sometimes call her Susie. Let's see how these potatoes are doing, by the way. So I'll pull one out like so, and then I just take it down here, let it cool off. No burning. And do a little touch test. Yeah, that's still really firm. So we want it to be where they're almost starting to get mushy, but not quite. Ooh, good. Veggies are starting to cook up really So now I'm gonna clean up a bit and review my emerald variation, and then when the chicken is done, I will bring it out and let it rest, and then show you guys where to go from there for the chicken stew. As you rise to her apology, anybody else would surely know is watching her go. But what a fool be. Ooh, that was bad. Okay, so check it out. The chicken down here, it's not quite done yet. It's like at almost 170, but not at the full 180, which is what we want, deep in the thigh bone, deep in the thigh bone. So I'm trying to shove it as down in there as I can, which is not easy. Let's try this guy. Shove into the thigh bone. Now it says it's way high. Okay, wait. I was gonna put some foil on top to let it keep cooking, but it looks like actually it is done after all. So I'm pulling this back out. Sometimes you have to double test it. Look, I'm a ballet dancer. Trying to cook. So, oh, here comes the chicken. So I'm going to take some of that juice there and just lay it back along the bird. Get it all down the sides. Careful not to go down the middle, because there's a hole in the middle of the bundt cake pan, and then you got juice all over your table. It's the only trick with bundt pans. You gotta be careful. Okay. So we're gonna let him rest for 10 to 15 minutes, and then I've got to start ripping that meat off of his bones. And some of it will be saved for sandwiches, and some of it will be for our chicken soup. Okay, so here I am now. I am scooping the potatoes, which are nice. You can see they are, I'll give you a little sample here. You can just kind of break them up. That's exactly how I want them. So now I'm going to take them hot, and toss them in with my other veggies. I'm saving this water for when I'm ready to stew the carcass. So that water's just going to hang out there. And then back over here, I now have all of my veggies working. Veggies! So these will all be ready to just toss into the soup when it is time. Hooray! So now it is time to take the meat off of the chicken. Now, I'm going to take this, over here, there we go, y'all can see, I am taking the carcass and dropping them in. Boop, boop. Now we'll let that simmer. Let's get it up to boiling. Get the water boiling, and then we'll let it simmer for 30 minutes. Then we'll pull out the carcass parts, all the bones, and put everything else back in. Yay! That's not the right lid, but I'm putting a lid on it. Okay. So my soup is finished. I've let it simmer for a long time. And let's get that video going too. I mean, it looks fantastic. Oh my God. And I salted it a bit. Quite a bit actually. I like mine pretty salty. Oh my God. It's so fragrant too. Love the rosemary. Oh, no. Yeah. So let's serve this up the way it's supposed to be done, so you all can see the deliciousness. Deliciousness. Just Just gonna ladle up. And you see all those chunks of potato and celery and carrots and chicken? That's the magic. This is comfort food for me. I love it. Look at that. That's just amazing. You could also put noodles in here if you wanted. I'd cook them separately and then I'd add them to the pot if I were you. That's my style. And then there's one other thing. This is the finishing touch. It's the secret deliciousness that makes this awesome. Just take a little dollop, not too big, just a nice little spoonful of sour cream. Put that in the bowl. Hot! Woo! This bowl is so hot, oh my god. But there's sour cream in here and it makes it perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna go eat this now. My mouth is literally watering. I've got some nice crusty French bread to dip in it. Oh my god. It smells like home. Mom, if you're watching or listening somewhere out there in the universe, thank you for making this soup for me for all those years. I'm happy to be enjoying it again now and sharing it with all of my followers and listeners and subscribers and friends and family out there who might be watching this video. I hope that this soup stew comforts you and warms your soul the way it does mine. I love you guys. My name is Georgia. You're watching Ballerina Badass. I love you all. Toy, toy, toy. Ow. Did I say never give up? Never stop dancing? Never give up. Never stop dancing.